In this video, I'm going to discuss a phishing email that came through to me, showing how the attacker had compromised a Google Workspace account and sent a phishing email, and taking a look at the actual going through the phishing email and following through the phishing domains. We'll take a look at how it works under the hood and what you can do to detect and mitigate such an attack. Starting with the phishing email itself, we see here on the screen, you see it has an attached Word document as well as PDF. And the content of the email attempts to get the recipient to open up the email and click on either one of those documents. Once one of those, either PDF or the document, gets clicked on, what it shows here is a shared file that it tries to get the user to click on one of the two links, either the review that's lit up or the view court judgment. Again, it's using some language trying to get the user to click on that link. You see I have hovered over the link where it shows a shortened URL that points to somewhere else. I took a look at this in a sandbox in a safe environment, so I'll just walk you through the attack here and how it works. Once you click on that link there, it goes to another initial landing page where it loads a CAPTCHA, and this CAPTCHA is for a few reasons. First of all, it is used as an evasion technique where spam filters and a lot of bots can't get past this CAPTCHA, so it stops those spam filters and security tools from recognizing an actual phishing attack. This one we have here up on the screen, it's pretty unique. I've never seen this particular, visualization like this before. Traditionally, the ones I've seen have used Cloudflare, where it just looks pretty much the same. This one's using a different backend platform. If you go ahead and click on the CAPTCHA, it'll then redirect you to another page where it has a Google Workspace sign-in page, where what you see on the screen actually is logging you into Google. The problem is that if you look on the top domain, it doesn't go directly to Google. So it first goes through this domain, which is controlled by the hacker, and then when you go to that domain, the hacker under the hood forwards you in real time to Google Workspace's sign-in page. And even if you have multi-factor authentication, because they're relaying that information, they're not actually hosting like a fake page. It'll allow you to log in with multi-factor authentication, and once that happens, they can steal your session. It's like not your actual username and password. They'll steal your session itself, and with just that session information, they can then take that, copy it, and put that in their browser, and they're logged in as you. Like they don't need to like log in again by putting in your username and password and go through MFA again. They're just logged into your account, and once they get in there, they can add change password, add additional MFA options. In terms of recognizing such an attack, going back to the email, you have to ask yourself when looking at these emails, is this something that's expected? Even if it comes from someone you know and trust, those are the ones that can compromise you the quickest. That's how these threat actors are bouncing around environments where they're compromising an account and using the compromised account to send phishing emails to their contacts. So the recipients are much more likely to actually fall for the phishing attack because it comes from someone they know. So when you look at an email, think about it, just from like a bird's eye view. Hey, does this make any sense contextually? Even if it does, like, is this a normal process that, a normal email that the person would typically send? If you have any suspicion, reach out to the person who sent it on an alternate method of communication. Don't respond through email and say, hey, did you send this email? Guess what? Attackers typically stay logged in, and they're very quickly to respond, and they're very responsive. They seem to be on the ball more than some people with the quickness to respond to emails. So again, if you have the person's cell phone number, give them a call. Don't rely on phone numbers from the email itself. I've seen attackers where they'll modify the actual phone number in the signature of the email, so an unknown trusted method of communication. Additionally, always look at the domain you're logging into. In this case, you see here, it's not a Google domain. It's a random domain we can see here on the top. Always try to pay attention to the domains you're actually logging into, and just again, read it. Even if what you see visually looks like one thing, take a double look at what domain you're actually logging into to make sure you're on the right site. If you have any suspicions, again, reach out to the sender, an unknown trusted alternate method of communication. Also report this to your IT and security team. That's it for today. Before I wrap up here, this is something like under the hood with bypassing multi-factor authentication that it's very common in Microsoft 365 environments. This is the first time I've seen it being used on Google Workspace. It's always been possible through Google Workspace, but hackers have typically been focused a lot on Microsoft 365 to where they tailor the phishing platforms to specifically for the Microsoft 365 environments, where it won't work on a Google platform. In this case, it was specifically tailored for Google. And again, this is the first time I've seen this, direct targeted attack before. It's always been possible. These phishing, platforms have been around for many, many years. But recently they've really been starting moving over to this new platforms that can compromise accounts even if they have multi-factor authentication. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.